Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Blogger. So now that May is gone and June is here, it is time for me to share my May 2024 blog income and traffic report. So if you're new to my channel, I share these every month to show a realistic expectation and view, like the reality of what it takes to generate sustainable or significant, consistent, whatever you're looking for, to generate income from a Christian blog. So I show you all the different areas that I do earn income from, as well as the downside, which is all of the expenses that it takes to run a blog that generates income. And we also talk about my traffic sources and all the different sources of where my income is generated from. So for May 2024, it wasn't much better than it was for April. As you know, Google is continuing to just, really hurt us small creators and some big creators too, as far as our traffic. And so my traffic numbers have continued to kind of dwindle a bit, or so it's sort of leveling out, but I am seeing promise in the other areas that I've started kind of tapping into, and we'll go into that as well. All right, so let's hop over here to share my screen. We got my fancy little presentation for you here. All right, so the first thing we talk about is traffic. So why is it important that I share my traffic with you? Because in order to generate income, like consistent, in other words, not a one and done it here or there, but consistent monthly income, it really comes back to your blog traffic. Why? Because ad revenue, if you can get your blog traffic up to a certain amount, then you can generate ad revenue by people simply visiting your blog. You're not having to sell products. You're not having to promote stuff. It's literally about getting people to click that link and read the blog post. This is where I generate the majority of my income, which I will show you here in just a minute. And so I'm doing a comparison from, the current month to the previous month, just so you can see, how Google is impacting things. And I'll show you why that's important when we get to the income slide. So for Kingdom, so if you're new to my channel, I do have 3 different blogs. So the first one, which is my main one, at one point was at about 130 to 50,000 monthly sessions. And we are down to 42,000 this past month, which is down from 46,000 in April. So again, Google is still kind of messing with me, as it is many other blogs. My second site is at 15,000, down from 17, and my printable site is at 17, down from 19,000. So just kind of a snapshot of my traffic for the past 2 months. And I want to show you actually, so just a bird's eye view of my traffic history. So column C here, I track everything every single month, where all my traffic's coming from, the majority of it. And so we're at 42. In January, I was at 103. So I've lost about 60% of my traffic since January, thanks to Google. But let's look at the positive. So we're going here for May. Some cool things is that, let's see, so Google still going down. My email traffic is actually doing well compared. This year, I've really been intentional about how I send my weekly emails, because the purpose that I'm striving for, the goal, is to get them to click back to my site. So the bigger my email list grows, my amount of clicks, so traffic from email, should also grow. And so I've just been testing out different things to see how I can increase that. And then here, so I have Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, my courses, Facebook. Gumroad has actually been showing some promise. I create printable Bible studies and have a lot of free ones. But what I do is create the devotional or the content part as a blog post. And then on the printable, when they download the PDF, it has clickable links and a QR code that links back to the actual blog post. And I do this, so the printable itself is just the printable for the Bible study with like questions. But if they want to read the actual devotional part, like the summary, if you will, they have to click that link or scan that QR code, and then they can read the blog post. I just started doing it in, I guess, April. And so it was like 48. And in May, it basically almost doubled. So that is showing promise. I do have another video. I'll try to remember to link that in the show notes or in the video notes below. Or actually, I'll just put it right here. I forget that I can do that. Now TikTok, I was doing like some stuff on TikTok back in like February, March, and then I sort of slacked off for a couple of reasons. But I am actually now posting daily on TikTok, and I'm going to be creating videos that actually are based on my studies so that I can encourage them to visit my profile so that they can download the free study notes. And so hopefully next month's report will have a little more promise coming from TikTok. Flipboard is actually showing some great promise. I'm actually really focusing on that this month, but I started in April, and for month May, it almost tripled. And so I know 62 is not a lot compared to the 42,000, but it is showing promise. And these are brand new platforms that I'm investigating. It's going to take a little time to grow them, but I can already see the promise from what I'm doing. My YouTube channel, I started a second YouTube channel, which is strictly faith content. It has nothing to do with blogging. And so I will be doing videos based on all the Bible studies I've already written. And that way they can click the link to go get the actual printable study notes and things like that. So next month, we should actually see a little more from that. Hopefully, we'll find out. Pinterest has always been pretty good. I kind of slacked off it for a little while, but I'm back hitting it hard with all three of my sites with a new strategy. And then, okay. So I just wanted to show you a overview of the year where all my traffic is coming from, where I've lost, but where it's also showing potential, Okay, so let's go back over here. So now we're going to go to May income. So my ad revenue for May. So for ad revenue, it's not based on the traffic numbers I just showed you. With your ad revenue companies, they pay like 2 to 3 months kind of offset. So what I earn or my traffic for May, for example, I think is paid out August 1st or something like that. So it's about 2 months off. And so this was from before it really went down. I think by June and July, it's my ad revenue is going to be down to barely 1,000 because that's when it really took a downturn. So remember my January traffic was 103,000. So January, February, March, April, and then February, and it started going down. And by April is when it was down in the 40s. So those payouts are going to be coming in the next 2 months. And so my next report is going to be very abysmal. But for May, again, based on 2 to 3 months ago, my ad revenue was $2,428. Now, I have Mediavine on 2 of my sites, and I have She Media on the 3rd site. So this is a combination of all 3 of them together. Now, affiliate income, I account for this as far as, it's not like I just got a notice of a sale and I account that. I go through my bank statement, and so this number is reflective of deposits actually made into my bank account during the month of May. And so $1,348, again, I don't do a lot of affiliate marketing, but I do get some from Amazon. I have a couple of Bible study kind of products that I do, like Daily Grace Co. and things like that. And then just a couple of blogging products. I just really don't promote a lot of blogging stuff, but the few things like plugins that you need for your website and things like that. But the majority of the affiliate income actually comes from the products such as the Daily Grace and also Amazon that I recommend, as well as some from other bloggers that I'm a part of their affiliate programs. Product sales. So this is a combination of my products on Etsy and Gumroad. I have the same products listed on both. The only difference is that on Gumroad, I can list my freebies. And sometimes people actually offer a couple of bucks for them, which is kind of cool. So between the 2 platforms, I'm averaging about between $300 and $400 a month. So this month was $304. Teachable, like many people think, because I'm a blogging coach, most of my income comes from my courses. It doesn't. That's like a very fraction. I've not had any course launches in the past couple of months. I have a couple of memberships, which is a recurring monthly subscription and a coaching program and things like that. And so Teachable was only just under $400. I did get my first payout for YouTube, or actually, I think this was my second payout. And so it was for $193. So again, I like to focus on what's going well. YouTube is finally starting to pay me for all these videos, which is great. And so now I've launched my second channel, and I am really hoping and praying that I can try to get it monetized. I'd like to say by December. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, it could happen, but by next summer. So the requirements for monetization of a YouTube channel is 4,000 public watch hours. So I am doing a lot of shorts, but those don't count. But here soon, I'm really going to start ramping up how many regular videos that I'm publishing each week, and then using some different strategies to increase the views on them. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so my grand total of income for the month of May, so that was money that actually went into my bank account, $4,670. Now let's talk about the expenses. So my standard monthly expenses, these are my, monthly, like my recurring convert kit for my email, my hosting from Big Scoots, things like that. It's like a regular recurring thing, my Google Share Drive, things like that. Contract workers, so these were, if you've been following me, I had two writers and a regular VA that did other projects. Unfortunately, because of the cut in traffic, which is a cut in my income, I had to downsize. And this was the final payout for the last one that I had. And so $500 for that. I'm hoping by the end of the year, I can recover my losses, and that way I can hire them back, because that was really important to me to be able to pay it forward in our community with the earnings. Facebook ads, this is a new thing I've started adding last month, I started in April. So this month I have a video, I will link that. I am paying for Facebook ads for page follow. So I do a $5 a day ad spend, and the entire goal is to build how many followers I have on my Facebook page to reach 10,000. And that way, the more people will see the links and things that I share. So this month it was $155. And I gained well over 1,000 new followers, which also translated into more blog click-throughs, like clicked the links back to my website. So mission accomplished. And then every month, my tithe and charity is roughly the same. I have several charities that I give to every month, in addition to my tithe off my business earnings. And so I don't share that to boast. If you follow me, you understand that people ask me, how do you tithe? I don't know how to tithe off my business, because there's no like cheat sheet for it. It's more of a personal thing, but sometimes people need an example so that they can also kind of figure it out. And so I like to openly share what I'm doing, because I know when I ask certain questions, nobody ever wanted to share it, and it didn't help me learn. So I do, it is very important that we honor God with our earnings, as well as not just the tithe, but beyond that as well. Okay, so total expenses for the month, $2,960. And this is important because people are like, oh, wow, you made $4,600. It must be nice to make that much money. But I really didn't make $4,600 because of the amount that I've had to pay out. The one I did forget to mention, this miscellaneous expenses, $1,102. These can be different things. If I have certain subscriptions that are on annual renewals, like this month, my Akismet for comment spam renewed, and that was like $300. If I do any courses, that will figure into this as well. So this month was a little higher than normal because I did enroll in a course, and then I had that one renewal. Okay, so 2,960. And last month, actually, I had my taxes due. So if you want to see the April expense and income report, I actually was in the deficit. I didn't earn or get to keep any of my money because I had to pay Uncle Sam for my quarterly taxes. All right, so the total $4,600 income, $2,900 expenses. My net income was $1,710. So this is basically what I got to keep for the month. And I mean, it's great. It's, it is what it is. This is going to be significantly smaller in the coming months. But that's okay. I've lost traffic before and it has regained, as you can see on this. I just want to show you column C here. So August 20, let's see, May of 2021, I was at 101,000. By December of that same year, I was at 48,000. And then the next year, it went back up to 121, down to 86. And in 23, started off the year at 115,000, ended the year at 91. And the rest is history because we are now at 42,000. I'm not worried. God is going to lead me where he wants me to be to reach the people he wants me to reach. And so I'm just going with the flow. All right. So now let's kind of look at what am I doing next? And I think this is important because every month I sort of evaluate and kind of make changes to my strategy for the coming month. So I'm continuing with my Facebook campaign for page follows. I am seeing so much fruit coming from my Facebook page. I have neglected it from day one, and I've been very transparent about that. I just really didn't have the time or desire to do it. But I am finding that I am actually getting more fulfillment out of my Facebook page because of the comments and the questions. Like there are people out there in Facebook world that have legitimate questions about the Bible that have been hurt, that are seeking comfort and seeking hope and different things. And the fact that I'm able to help through that process with them is just great. At the same time, it's also growing the traffic back to my websites. So I will continue with that until I reach the 10,000 mark for followers. At that point, I will still do an ad, but I will probably tweak it to some other area, such as building my email list or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Pinterest, I spelled pinning wrong. Please don't comment any hateful comments that I can't spell. Increase my Pinterest. So I purchased some new templates, some really pretty, visually appealing templates. I've used kind of the ones I've created over the years and edited and, tweak them. So I'm like, you know what, let me try some different design aesthetics. I'm using Tailwind. So I'm just going to ramp up the pins and the strategy of what I'm pinning. I'm going to continue creating new Gumroad studies. These have been so fruitful. Those amount to a blog post, which is the summary of the story. What I mean by that, so I have a lot for women of the Bible. So let's say it's, the story of Ruth in the Bible. The blog post is the simple summary. I'm not worried about SEO anymore at this point. I know my foundation of my training has always been about SEO for Christian bloggers. We don't know the future of SEO, so I am not going to be pushing that any longer. I do think there's some value still in it, but I'm not going to be focusing on it for my own ministries. Instead, I'm looking at other avenues, other channels that I need to start investing in. But I still need traffic back to my website. And so creating these simple summaries, the overviews, whatever. And then the printable that they get for free is a list of study questions and maybe a lessons learned cheat sheet or something like that. And so I am going to continue creating those. I am going to start spending more time on TikTok. How I'm doing this, every morning I create a 60-second video, just a morning scripture devotional for my YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel. And then I take those same videos and I share them into Instagram, Facebook Reel, and then I share it to TikTok. And so I am going to increase the videos specifically for TikTok so I can create some longer form ones, which are like kind of quick breakdowns of each of the studies I've already created. So you notice a theme here. Everything I'm doing, all the different platforms, all come back to the studies I've already created. I've created the stuff I know people are wanting more of because I've done the research. And so through that printable study questions and simple summaries, I'm using that as the basis for the content that I do, video content for social media, the Pinterest pins, just everything. And so that is a really great strategy. If anyone's trying to figure out like, where do I go with all this? How do I piece it all together? That's how you do that. So I am going to start spending more time on TikTok, creating more videos aside from the Bible verse one I do every morning. Of course, more YouTube tutorials for this channel, but then also my new channel. I really want to see if I can get it to monetization within 12 months would be great. Flipboard, of course, I'm continuing every day to flip older content. I'm creating new content. And some of the newer content that I'm creating has, well, it has no SEO value, but the topics and what it's about is specifically created for Flipboard and for social media. And, there's a strategy to that. It's a lot different than SEO, but so far the content that I'm creating for this purpose is getting way more traffic than the regular older blog posts that I'm flipping into Flipboard. So, and then the final thing I've started this month is an additional weekly email. So right now I send my emails out on Monday. Y'all know I have 2 email lists. I have my blogging tips. And then I have my faith list, which is my bigger list. I think I have like 1,700 on that list right now. And so that goes out every Monday, and it's got, just whatever the topic is for the week, plus some other links. It has, some resources, the monthly Bible reading plans and different things, and it does fairly well. I'm adding a second email, which goes out on Wednesday because my readers did ask for a weekly devotional email. And so what I'm doing with that is I'm writing the devotional. It's about 900 to 1,200 words on various topics. I write it in as a blog post, a no index blog post. That way SEO doesn't matter. And then I link that in the email. But when I push it out to the email, I tell them there's the devotional plus some study questions. So since my site does have ads, it's really hard to read the devotional because of the ads and the images and stuff. So at the beginning of the devotional, I tell them, hey, skip the ads and images, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can print a PDF version of this devotional that they can print out and like put in their study journal or whatever. And this is going to be week 2. Last week's did pretty well. And so hopefully we'll continue to see some fruit of that. And then since I've already created the content, I do flip that into Flipboard, and I also create some Pinterest pins for it, and I share it on my other channels as well. Repurpose everything. So that's it. I know that was kind of a lot, but this is where we are. SEO, I don't think it's dead, but it is different and it is more difficult. And, for so long, I neglected every other area because SEO was where it was at. And that rug got pulled out. So I will not make that mistake in the future. I will continue moving forward, making sure I have a vested interest in multiple platforms so that if one falls, the other is there. Pinterest, I didn't lose everything completely because I still get at least 10,000 views a month from Pinterest to the one website. And so I'm hoping to maybe double that in an effort to recover my other lost traffic. But you have to be flexible. Now, if you're just getting started watching this and you're like, I can't be in all the places, that's fine. But try building the foundation for at least one. And when you get that one under control, like what am I doing here? How do my people want my content? Things like that. Then learn how to repurpose it across multiple platforms. Like I said, I'm making my videos specifically for my YouTube channel. They're under 60 seconds because a short is under 60 seconds. But since I've already made it, I go ahead and share it to Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And sometimes I even share it to Pinterest. I don't know what's going to happen, but you never know when one might take off in one of those platforms. So you don't have to create brand new content for every single one. You just have to learn how to repurpose what you're already doing so that it can be used in the other platforms. So that's all for today. I'm not complaining. I'm still earning a little bit of income. I'm seeing fruit in places that I didn't have fruit before. And so I know God's got this. He's going to lead me where he wants me to be in this digital space. And I'm going to learn a lot along the way. So if you have any questions at all, drop those comments below. And of course, hop over to my Facebook group. There you can ask all kinds of questions, get help, get, support and whatever, encouragement. If you just need encouragement, I would love to have you join us over there. So that's it. Have a great week. And as always, God bless. Bye-bye.